Good morning and welcome to today's service. We'll begin with opening meditation. If you could please join me in Gassho. Our life is shaped by our mind, for we become what we think. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. We will continue with the three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, at what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. We'll continue today's service with the chanting of Jusei-ge. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Gagon Chosegan Hishimu Jodo Shigan Humanzo Sebu Joshongan Gao Muryoko Ui Dai Seishu Usai Shobingu Sebu Joshongan Gashi Jobutsu no Myosho Chojipon Kukyo Mishomon Sebu Joshongan Ryokujin Shonen Joe Shubongyo Shigumu Jono Isho Tenin Shi Jinriki En Daiko Usho Musai no Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kaichi Egen Meshi Konmoan Heisoku Shoaku no Tsunatsu Zen Shumon Koso Jomanzo Iyo no Jippon Nichigatsu Shujuki Tenko Onpugen Ishu Kai Hozo Kose Kudoku O Jo Dai Shuchu Seppo Shishiku Kuyo Isai Butsu Gusoku Shutoku On Ganne Shitsu Joman Tokui Sangayo Nyobutsu Mugechi Tsuratsu Mifusho Angaku Eni Toshi Sai Shoson Shigan Nyakoka Daisen Okanno Koku Shotenin Touchi Myoke Nam Namon Dhammo. Namon Dhammo. Namon Dhammo. Namon Dhammo. Namon Dhammo. Namon Dhammo. Ganni shikudoku ryo no seisai dohon bodaishin hojo Namondos, 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 namondos. We'll now continue with the golden chain. Golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, now we'll have our first Gatha, Hey Jude. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You were made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulder. For well you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making his world a little colder. Na 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 na. Hey Jude, don't let me down. You have found her, now go and get her. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better, 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 better. Na 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 na. now we are lucky to have Reverend Keith Kato deliver the Dharma talk today.
Good morning. I am Sensei Keith Kato from the Sacramento Buddhist Church, and it is my honor to give today's Dharma message. And the topic is coronavirus. As expected, it just simply has turned our world upside down, and I felt that I needed to at least address coronavirus from a Buddhist perspective. You know, it's been over 5 months since the coronavirus, or COVID-19, has forced all of us to take shelter in our own homes in order to avoid catching this dreaded disease. As of today, over 5.5 million U.S. citizens have been affected, and over 170,000 Americans have died. Worldwide, over 22 million people have been affected, and over 170,000 people have perished. It feels as if we are living in another world, an alternate world, full of loneliness, disappointment, frustration, and sadness. As I was thinking about the current pandemic, I thought about how the last great pandemic, occurring approximately 100 years ago, affected that world. This flu was conveniently named the Spanish flu because newspapers at that time wrote about the epidemic in neutral Spain when it first appeared during the last year of World War I, and how it gravely affected King Alfonso VIII of Spain. The geographic origin of the flu has never been confirmed, although there were varying thoughts about its origin. It should be noted over 500 million people, or 1/3 of the world's population, were impacted during the period of February 1918 to April 1920, or a little over 2 years, and during 4 different waves. The death toll was estimated to be between 17 million and 50 million people due to malnourishment, crowded medical camps, hospitals, and poor hygiene. These factors, when combined, created the perfect storm to breed and spread this bacterial superbug. In the United States alone, approximately 29 million people were infected, and sadly, between 500,000 and 850,000 Americans died. The majority of those infected experienced sore throat, headache, and fever, with the most complicated cases resulting in pneumonia. Other symptoms included mouth and nose bleeds, teeth and hair falling out, delirium, dizziness, insomnia, loss of hearing, smell, and blurred vision. Unfortunately, the vaccine developed at that time did not deal with the actual virus, and there were no antibiotics to treat bacterial infections. Recommendations given to combat the flu included wearing face masks and the banning of large gatherings, much like today. During my time at home, I thought about what the Buddhist perspective could be in trying to deal with the pandemic. As I was searching for material on Buddhist thoughts regarding how we could coexist with this pandemic, I was inspired by Reverend Earl Ikeda from the New York Buddhist Church, and his viewpoint and approach to living within this COVID-19 world was very, very inspiring. Reverend Ikeda's message was about staying positive and having optimism and hope. With this attitude, Reverend Ikeda said, "We won't let the darkness of negativity keep our minds trapped with doubt and fear that paralyzes us with blindness to a better future of hope. This attitude will keep our minds more clear so that we notice more aha moments that change our perceptions and expand our personal abilities to see through a newly realized awareness, a bigger and more universal picture of all things. Or in other words, to truly see the big picture of the connections within the oneness of life. It is with this attitude or mindfulness that it enables us to survive and live life for a better tomorrow by washing our hands diligently, maintaining social distancing, and respecting and having compassion for others by staying at home. As we cope with our own fears, apprehensions, uncertainties, and helplessness, let us step back, take a deep breath, and practice mindful meditation to decrease stress, anxiety, and sadness, and find peace and happiness within our own hearts and minds. With this calmness, we can find pleasure in the little things: breathing, listening to music, reading a book, smelling the flowers, listening to the birds chirping, looking at the photos of family and friends, or just listening to friendly voices. The Dharma teaching of mindfulness will allow us to see the COVID-19 just doesn't affect a select few. We, the world and its 7 billion inhabitants, are all in this together. The Dharma awakens our hearts and minds so that we can connect with our fellow human beings, to truly see that we are one with all things on this planet Earth. And as the death toll mounts, as the pandemic takes more and more deaths, or more and more lives, let these deaths remind us to be thankful for being spared from this dreaded disease. Life isn't always perfect, but we just have to make the best of things, for things can still be pretty good despite life's imperfections. As we constantly are vigilant of the present and life's impermanence and constant changes, let us also be reminded of all the things that we have taken for granted in the past and in the present, especially the kindness and selfless acts we have received that have enriched our lives. By reciting the Onen Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, we are saying thank you to Amida Buddha for not forsaking us, leaving us, and instead compassionately watching over us, for unconditionally accepting us for who and what we are, despite our differences, during the journey of our shared and common humanity towards all. As I close today's message, I would like to share with you a poem by Langston Hughes. If Mr. Hughes was not a Buddhist philosophically, I know that Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and Shinran Shonin would endorse the following words. We dream a world where no human will scorn, where love will bless the earth and peace its past adorn. We dream a dream where all of us will know sweet freedom's sway, where greed no longer saps the soul, nor avarice blights our day. A world we dream where black, white, yellow, and brown, whatever your face may be, will share the bounties of the earth. Where every woman, man, boy, and girl are free. Where wretchedness hangs its head, and joy, like a pearl, attends the needs of all human beings. Of such a world we dream, to celebrate life and labor for all of us, to celebrate the spirit, the heart, and the mind of each of us, and together walk through the galaxies, seeking equality, liberty, and justice for all. As we treat each other with decency respect, and love. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, 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 namandab. Thank you again for listening to today's message. And please stay safe.
Thank you, Reverend Keith, for your Dharma talk. It's very timely, and I think a lot of people feel like Buddhism might be a pessimistic or negative way of looking at the world, but clearly from your talk, it's a much more positive way that will hopefully get us through this difficult time to come out even better on the other side. We'll now close with our Gatha farewell. Dharma school is over for another day. Let us gather around the shrine, bow our heads and say, thank you, teacher, for your help. Thank you, everyone. Buddha's love will keep us safe till our work is done. So we'll meet again next week. Won't you take good care? Let us try to do what's right, always kind and fair. We shall spread the happiness faith in Buddha brings. Now it's time to say goodbye till we meet again. Namo Amida Butsu, sing this fine refrain. Namo Amida Butsu, sunny day or rain. Namo Amida Butsu, strong in faith remain. If you could please join me in Gassho for closing meditation. If you could please join me in Gassho for closing meditation. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.